Hello everyone, Mr. Power 46 here, and welcome to Let's Play Psychonauts. No, not Psychonauts. I wondered how long it would take for me to get there. Day of the Tentacle Remastered, aka Dot. So, last time we got Laverne out of a tree, and did several other things. We actually got up to 15% of the game instead of 4% like we were before when I was dawdling. Things tend to domino effect when you're doing puzzles in tandem, though. So, you know. So, I've got a can opener, which I'll need to give to someone else. Each person starts with an item. He starts with the textbook. Laverne starts with a scalpel, which makes you go, ugh. And Hoagie starts with a can opener. All three are used. Most items are used. In fact, I think the one item that isn't used, after you pick it up and then you look at it, the character goes, "Why did I pick this up?" Why not? One of the achievements in this game, for the Steam version at least, man, he's doing idle animations really often, is Rap Sheet Adventure Gamer, which is pick up 30 items. Because one of the cardinal rules of most point-and-click adventure games is pick up every item you can, even if it doesn't look useful, if it's not nailed down on story-wise or actual wise, pick it up. They even kind of make jokes about it if you try to pick up certain things in this. And the background artist for this game got frustrated by the end because the people who were designing the game would tell him, make a nice background for these things, and they'd put a bunch of stuff in the background, like this candelabra, but it was in the foreground of the background rather than... Okay, so it was in the background. So, they stopped them from putting so many little details in the actual background because they know that adventure gamers will go, that's a thing that's not nailed down. Let's try hovering over it and see if I can pick it up. Because that is just how it works. Well, here's Ben Franklin. He needs water-resistant material for his kite because he refuses to go out in a storm to get lightning.
I got something good for you, mister. Mister.
Mr. Brainstorm?
And
yes,
of course, a lab
over.
coat that can act as a raincoat.
Doesn't this belong to somebody?
Yeah, Red Edison.
Ah.
So he goes straight towards it.
I'm sorry, but the man has no vision. A lightweight, durable fabric like this going to waste down in his basement. When I'm done with it, it will fly. Eureka! The all-season Francocopter, ready to make history.
Later that day.
No, there's no fuse.
So, what do I light?
For the last time, you're not going to light anything. You just push it.
The
Lots
whole
of
time?
pyrotechnics.
How am I going to get up that high?
Listen, just wait for me to say the word now. Then push the kite into the air, all right?
I'm on you, lasagna.
Let's hope so.
Now, I did this a little out of order, so this won't really do much. But, well, it'll do a little bit. It'll give you an extra scene that you wouldn't have seen if you actually played through the game, knowing all the puzzles. But, unfortunately, we don't have the thing that we actually need for that.
So what happened after I fainted?
Well, after the lightning hit the kite, it came crashing down on your head.
The lightning?
No, the kite.
Drat! What do you think we should do?
I'd like to go back to my lab and consider the situation.
Naturally.
Sounds like something I would say.
So now that part's ready. Because technically, would a super battery start off charged? That's the real question. And the answer is simple. No, it would not start off charged, so we need to charge it. So, well, we didn't actually talk to Thomas Jefferson or John Hancock. John Hancock is a little cold, so he wants the fire to be lit.
Hello?
What's up, you cold?
Cold? I'm freezing.
Well, why don't you put a coat on?
I'm wearing a coat, you nitwit. I've
Of
even
course.
got this blanket which makes me itch, and I'm still freezing.
Why don't you build a fire?
Well, I keep asking Jefferson to build a fire, but he won't. Says he needs the log for posterity and won't part with it.
He's going to give the log to starving children? Who'd want
a poster of a log?
I don't get any respect around here.
I think
Why? I bet
Thomas
if
Jefferson
George, I spent
only
the
says
winter in Valley
as
Forge, Washington. was
that
cold.
response.
We'd get some heat in
I don't think
here.
he's listening to you.
Awesome blanket there, dude.
Thank you. It was given to me by my dear old colorblind Aunt Hattie.
How come you sign your name so big?
Astigmatism.
Really? Let me see your palms.
All right. The truth is that a friend once told
I
me that
love
women go
all of those.
crazy over guys
This
with
was
a big
originally
signature.
designed without voices in mind, because and then near the end of development they went, because Miss was starting to become popular, they just barely started putting video and voice into the game and using CDs. So they released this
What are you guys
on
doing
both
in here?
floppy disk of like
We're writing
15
a-
of them,
uh,
and
writing
a
the-
CD version that
We're drafting a constitution for the United States.
Don't say draft. You'll only make me cold.
actually had the
Wimp.
voices instead of subtitles. So,
Why don't you have some hot coffee?
Oh, I can't stand coffee. It makes me irritable and want to bang my head against the walls.
you say that as if it was a bad thing.
You say that as though it was a bad thing.
I love saying different
Do
things.
you have any idea how much it costs to fix a wall these days? It's a racket.
Shouldn't you guys be
I just
working
love
instead of just
exhausting
sitting
all the
there?
dialogue.
Writer's block. We can't think of any amendments or anything, so we put a suggestion box over there. I don't suppose you have any brilliant ideas.
What about free sandwiches for all roadies?
No, there's no such thing as...
Don't say it, dude. I've heard it before. Well, I gotta go, dude.
And because it's time capsule,
Thank you. This
Wine
is exactly
becomes
the
vinegar.
sort of thing I need for the time capsule. I'll
Unfortunately,
bury
I
it
can't
tonight,
just send
and
it through the
won't be
chrono job
seen
because
for hundreds
that
of
doesn't age
years.
it.
Future generations are in your debt.
Whoa.
And he won't let him use the log because he wants to put it in the time capsule. But John Hancock theorizes that if Washington was cold, then he'd go, okay, fine. But we'll solve a different puzzle first. So, the flyer says...
It's from George's Hardware.
George's Hardware.
George says that every American should have a vacuum cleaner in their basement.
Which is weird. But let's send it to Hoagie.
John.
Because, of course, George and George Washington. Let's put it in the suggestion box.
Boy, it's sure quiet in here. I wonder if there might be any ideas worth discussing in the suggestion box. Maybe somebody should take a look.
Maybe.
I say, lads, I have an idea.
Does it have anything to do with starting a fire?
No. I was thinking it's about time we open the suggestion box. Don't you agree?
Sure, George, if you say so.
Yes, whatever you think is fine with us. Excellent.
What's he thinking? No one of any importance has been here all day. What could be in the suggestion box?
Perhaps he intends to suggest something himself.
Perhaps.
Oh.
Here's a suggestion. It says, George says that every American should have a vacuum cleaner in their basement. What do you think, gentlemen?
That won't even be important until much later in the future.
Whatever you say, George.
Your name's on it. I'm sure you must have a good reason for suggesting it.
Yes. It's strange. I don't quite... Well,
He
I'm
doesn't
sure
remember,
I had a
but
reason for
that's
it.
okay.
If there are no
He's just going
objections,
senile,
we shall
right?
add it to the
We
Constitution
totally didn't just take
immediately.
that from the future and
No?
it happened to be owned,
Good. And
be a
so
hardware
shall
store
it be
owned
law.
by it.
What's a vacuum cleaner?
That is a good question. And there used to apparently be a huge amount of detail in that one screen we saw for a second when he first coded it, but the whole adventure gamers will go, "What's in that stuff?" syndrome happened. Now notice that this is a smoke detector.
It's a little cage with a canary in it, perched above a little lever.
So, if a fire starts that's not just going through the chimney, the smoke detector will go off. Sounds simple. So, I think that's about all I can do without... Yeah, that's about all I can do with Hoagie. And actually, just because, let's go Laverne.
Get me out of here! I haven't done
Looks a little
anything.
different here than...
Well, you must have done something or you wouldn't be here now, would you? You'd be out in the lobby with your tentacle owner getting dressed up for the human show.
Owner? No one owns me.
Gosh, no owner, you say? Well, don't worry about it. I'm sure someone will come adopt you before we have to put you to sleep.
Damn that Dr. Fred.
Hey,
This
she
is
knows the Edison
200
family
years
motto.
into the future.
Yoo-hoo, Mr. Tentacle Guy.
What?
Never mind.
Don't worry, I won't.
Best not bother them, they're busy cheating.
And then,
Dr. Fred, is that you?
What? You're nuts. There hasn't been a Fred in the Edison family for 200 years. The last Fred was such a shame to the whole family, not to mention the whole human race.
Well, who are you then?
I'm Zed Edison. That's my wife Zedna, and my son Ved.
weird that
Nice
he's
to
not
meet
Ved,
you.
And while his son isn't Zed because... Oh well, doesn't matter.
Where am I?
You're in the ancestral home of the once proud Edison family. We were once the masters of this house, just as humans were once the masters of Earth. Now we are the servants, the pets.
We're not very good at either one, I might add.
Oh, get bent, you overdressed nightcrawler.
How do I get out of here?
It's a good
If
question.
I knew that, do you think I'd be here?
What's this about a human show?
It's a degrading farce. That's what it is. These slimy tentacles put humans in humiliating little costumes, do sickening things to their hair, and then force them to parade their ridiculous talents in front of unqualified judges who are paid off weeks in advance.
Sounds
Didn't
familiar.
get in, eh?
They said macrame wasn't a talent. Pointy-headed goons.
I heard that.
I'm tired of talking now. It's been a long day, and I'm only human.
So let's talk to
You,
the tentacle
Mr.
guard.
Tentacle Guy.
What?
Now that the white dots on the floor, the things on the top will shock you if you try to go out of there.
Get me out of here! This is a violation of my rights.
Rights? You're a
The voices
human. You
really
don't have
help the
any
character
rights.
of Laverne, and the character of Laverne didn't even need help in the first place.
Ooh, I don't
Now, what you
feel
need to
so
do-
Good. I think I'm going to throw up all over.
Uh-oh. Time to visit Dr. Tentacle.
Here's Dr. Tentacle.
Well, what have we here?
I feel pukey.
Indeed. All right, now hold still.
Are you gonna use your
Sorry about the
scalpel?
No, of course not.
microphone
Done.
feedback.
Do you want to use mine?
No.
I think that might have been a closer, like a tame response to, do you want to use my scalpel if you're not going to use
What?
yours?
What? What?
Just as I suspected.
What?
There's nothing wrong with you, human.
What a letdown.
Well, I'm late for the show. I'll send your keeper back for you.
Of course.
Oh. Sit. Stay. Good boy.
Let's look at the human chart
They've
just for
got
fun.
the spleen mixed up with the liver.
That could be disastrous for someone. Let's pick up the tentacle chart, because why not? That's actually what you need to
It
do.
opens automatically.
Oh yeah, and the doors in the future open automatically, which is really nice. You just go boom. Now, basically what you needed to do was get that. Meanwhile,
Tell me, Lieutenant, how do you really feel about humans?
Honestly, sir, I think they're filthy, obscene, foul, sickening, like the stuff in
And
your eyes when you
this
wake
was-
up, like the wax that builds up behind your suction cups after a few days.
this was supposed to be the part where it takes a second to read it
Like
That's
It-
enough,
when it
son.
just
I
appears.
just wanted to be sure you weren't one of those
But when
humanist
they're
sympathizers.
talking, they can
What with
say
this
it
ridiculous
much
human show
faster.
going on here, there's humophiles
So-
everywhere.
you know.
I'm no humophile, sir.
That's good. Now let me tell you about a little plan I have.
And there's a microwave. There's a history with this game and hamsters and microwaves.
Hey, how'd you get out? Get back in there.
Specifically the previous game in the series, which
I wish Dr. Tentacle
the
would
only
stop
other
losing
one.
patience.
Yoo-hoo, Mr. Tentacle Guy.
What?
now
I have
you
to
can't
to
go
the
outside
bathroom.
Ha,
he was
that's a
out
good
doing
one.
this thing.
Imagine a
which,
human using a bathroom. Come on, let's take a walk. Okay, human, do your business.
so let's go over to the Chronogon and send the tentacle chart to Hoagie. And the tentacle chart needs to be used to replace the flag designs. So we'll just put these here. And suddenly, this is not supposed to be up while doing this, but anyway, suddenly, that's there. So let's switch back to Bernie. Bernie, really? Must have somewhat the election on in my head. This is a longer episode than the rest have been. Also, he does not like Uzo the Clown.
I can't. Uzo's intimidating.
Now we're exploring the mansion a
hate
tiny
that
bit
clown.
with Bernard. But we need to come up here for a reason. We need to pick up this crank and send it to Laverne. Trust me, this will save some time. It's annoying to not have done this. And she'll call for the Mr. Tentacle guy if
It's
you
about time.
try walking in. Or you can talk to him and say, hey, I'm ready to go back in.
Yoo-hoo, Mr. Tentacle Guy.
What?
Ooh, I
Still
don't
don't feel so good, apparently.
So good.
Again?
Sorry. Itchy. Now, there's the tentacle flag. Let's use the crank. And use the flag. And you get an achievement in the remastered version right there of Costume Quest because they had to promote their games. And now everyone thinks you're a tentacle. They're that stupid.
Hello, I'm a tentacle. I'd like to enter my insignificant human in the show.
Oh my, yes, of course.
Now this
Take these tags and put them on your
this
human
tentacle
and have
says
them
you're
wait on the
ugly
bench
when
in
you
the
don't
lobby.
wear when you're
Entrants
not
will be
wearing this
judged
costume.
in 3 categories: best smile, best hair, and best laugh.
Thank you, fellow tentacle. Unlike humans, you have been very useful.
Oh, thank you. Believe me, it was my pleasure.
Now all I need is a human.
Yowza! That was one good-looking tentacle.
He thinks you're ugly when you're a human, though. When he thinks you're a human. And now you just have free reign of everywhere in the house. Nothing in the cabinet in this time period. 4 sale cats. Yeah, this is about the only room in the house that looks fairly similar. They haven't changed it. Now we'll need to get into this dryer later, but for now,
It's already
just for fun,
open.
I'll close it. But I think that should be the end of this episode. So until next time, this was a long episode, I think. Have a good day. Don't go too crazy. No idea how to do an outro. Goodbye.